All right, we're live. We're doing. Jesus, you guys are straight seeing my stream key. Don't look. Woo! I'm so glad I didn't have my stream key up. That would have been bad. All right. Let's see if we can pull this stream up. We're going to bring this over here. Chat, how we doing today? Fellas, how we doing? Are we live, fellas? Are we in here? I want to know, are we in here right now? Are you guys hyped? We got the volume up. We're about to see every nasty aspect of this coming up season as well as beyond. Are we live? Tell me we're live. I'm seeing a lot of fellas, so I'm assuming that's a good thing. Voice scared me? Dude, all right, that sounds like we're live. Sounds like we're good. All right, guys. It's about to go down. If you didn't know, if you're just tuning in today, maybe you haven't been keeping up with Destiny, maybe you left off for a few seasons. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you took off for a second. Completely okay. If that is the case, currently right now, there is an impending doom coming out of space past Saturn, Jupiter area called the Pyramid Ships, aka the Dorito Ships, aka the Darkness or the Dankness. It's on its way to us, and it's ready to take us down, ready to kill us, as well as our Traveler. You know, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not necessarily loyal to the Traveler. You know what I mean? But you know, they are trying to kill us. So yeah, it's that. Yo, I legit with the 10. Thank you so much. Nate with the 5. Thank you. Anyways, today, hopefully today, and Darth Ridiculous with the 2. Thank you so much, man. Hopefully today, we get an idea of what the hell the darkness actually is and when we can expect them. Oh, Neil Campbell with the 50. Hot damn it. Neil, thank you so much for that. All right, guys. In the meantime, how many more minutes we got left to burn? We got 13 minutes. I feel like I should be doing something. Are y'all okay with us just chilling here? I feel like we should be doing something to like brush up on what's happening. All right, so it's showing that we're live. Good. All right, we're just gonna chill. Yo, Mighty Mega with the 2. Thank you so much. Angel Gomez with the 5. Darkness sponsored by Adidas. Aaron, thank you so much for the 10. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's happening. And I know I got a lot of people that are like, you know, if you took off a season, you know, I feel like getting you up to speed narratively. I mean, you really want to go watch Bife, right? You know, James Moss with a 20. Thank you so much for that. You really want to go watch a lore guy, and they'll definitely get you up to speed better than what I'm telling you. But if you're just looking for the cliff notes, holy hell, Dustin with the I don't know what that currency was, but it says 250 something RSD. Thank you so much for that. Just to get you up to speed though, cliff note wise, the darkness is coming. That's the only way I can explain. Jesus Christ, fellas, I can't even keep up right now. Christopher Glimmer, is there a way I can split this? Maybe I could split some of the things that are happening. I don't want to put the chat in slow mode. Well, we can go check it out over here. Yo, Corey with the 5. Thank you so much. YMG Boondock with the 3. YMG, thank you so much for that. Yo, Christopher again with the 2. Thank you. Mammy backwards. Miami backwards. Wow, that threw me off. Yo, thank you so much for the 10. Thank you. Yo, Freelancer with a 20. Oh, we got a Freelancer in the house. What up? Yo, thank you so much for the 20. Gavin Burns with a 5. Thank you. Josh with the 2. Christian with the 4. Fellas, Jesus Christ. We're not even into the stream yet. It's not even going down yet. All right, look. This is how we're going to play this out today, all right? I'm going to be here. Webcam's going to be there. But once the reveal gets going, I'm probably going to bow out. I'm going to go ahead and cut the webcam off. That way we can get the full feel, right? You know, we want to be completely immersed into, I don't know, whoever it is that's going to be leading the reveal. Maybe Luke, maybe Deej, I don't know. Timothy, thank you so much for the 2. Tyler, thank you for the 2. You know, I kind of wonder if this is going to be a live reveal or if this is going to be like a Vidoc style, right? And I got to say, I think the Vidocs are a little cleaner. So I kind of wanted to be Vidoc style. Jarrett Stewart with the 10, thank you so much. You're the sole reason I started playing Destiny again. Thanks for being awesome. Yo, much love, man. You know, here's the thing, man. Destiny's a good game. I legit, Lizard, thank you so much for the 10. Destiny's a good game. We're a passionate community. I think we get passionate for good reasons, though, right? We know it could be perfect. Oh, Jeffrey Grant with the 100. Holy hell. Jeffrey, thank you so much for the 100, man. Much love to you, dude. Zach with the 10. Anime Escape with the 5. C. Howard with the 2. Thank you so much. I think we get real passionate, though, because we know it could be perfect. You know? We know. Are y'all hearing volume? Jesus Christ. Well, the volume's working now. I didn't quite know, man. They just came blowing at us. Yo, Aracy with the 5. Thank you so much. Scott Garrison with the 5. Thank you so much. Psalm Neal with the 10. Yo, I am having a great day, guys. It is reveal day. It is new season day, baby. We're about to be rolling up into Destiny with all kinds of new gear. And I've got a lot of hopes for stuff. Rose King with the 50, the hype for season 11. Rose, thank you so much for that. Thank you. Double with the 5. Much love to you. Holy hell. Fireball with the 2. Thank you. I've got a lot of hope for this season. I'm going to cut this volume down a little bit. I've got a lot of hope for this season in terms of certain exotics I want to see back in the game. I'm speculating. Hold on, fellas. I'm speculating First Curse might be coming back. First Curse might be making a return. Huh? Somebody say something. Defile Gaming, thank you so much for the 20. Let's chill and slap that like button like your mama taught you right. Yo, thank you so much for the 20, dude. Orion the Cloaks, thank you so much for the 2. Desmond with the, oh God, that just jumped. Desmond with the 2, thank you. Big Easy with the 2, much love, guys. John with the 5, thank you. Hawkmoon. Oh, man, Hawkmoon's such a complicated one, right? Yo, Jacob with the 5, thank you so much. Heath with the 5, thank you for the 5, dude. Chicken Coop with the 15. Holy hell, hop back on for the 4th Horseman of Fellwinter just in time. Yo, they're good weapons, man. Descent, thank you so much for the 2. Jay Weiner with the 2. You know what? I would use 4th Horseman more if stomp mechanics weren't so damn annoying, right? If stomp mechanics didn't send you into outer space, I probably would be all about shotguns and PvE. Oh, Your Average Guardian, my favorite game, my favorite creator. How could I get this? How could this get any better? Average Guardian, thank you so much for the 50. One of our longtime supporters, Average. I love you, man. Thank you so much for that. Joshua with the 2. I want Red Death to come back, the man says. Oh. Look. What was Red Death back in D1? It was a 390, right? I don't know. I don't think Bungie's made an archetype change to an exotic that they've brought back. But if Red Death did come back, I think I would want it to be high impact. I think I would want it to be a 340, guys. Like Redrix. And considering they're getting a buff today, they're actually getting a buff today. Oh, we got some pictures here. Look at this. Yo, let's zoom in on this. Oh, look at this. Bungie Studios. Lost in Thoughts. Thank you so much for the 10, man.
It's certainly difficult to be away from all the folks that you work with day to day. You know, it's kind of like a family.
This is a company that talks about its people first. It talks about values. It talks about really, really caring. That is true.
When you look at the number of things we were able to accomplish in a pretty short period of time, it's a testament to all the skills and passion at all levels of the company.
The first case of a new potentially deadly virus has been confirmed in the United States, and it's right in our own backyard.
Given the explosion of the COVID-19 virus in our state and globally, I will sign a statewide executive proclamation later today, temporarily shutting down restaurants, bars, entertainment, and recreational facilities.
Well, it really started for us back in February when we were starting to hear early stages about the global pandemic.
We went from, first time I'd ever heard the phrase social distancing before, to the entire studio working from home in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Yo, let me refresh you guys. Hold on.
Rise to this challenge and
Thank you,
go
some
from
delay.
a studio all working in person day to day to working distributed all over the Puget Sound region. We developed a 5-phase plan driven by 5 priorities, and the top priority for us was employee safety. So very quickly it was developing a plan so we could get our employees working remotely and also ensuring that the day-to-day experience of playing Destiny was available for all of our players.
Is there anything confusing or unclear so far?
No, so far everything has been very clear.
Something that's very particular about Destiny is that we do work on Bungie machines to make sure that we keep certain aspects of Destiny secure. And so in order to do that, we had to look at provisioning up to 400 laptops, which was a huge number for us.
We have artists, we have designers, we have writers, we have engineers, testers. There's so many different workflows that require specific technology.
It's done. The background here got a little microphone set up so that I can record some new stuff for Destiny.
Oh!
IT was the one getting burdened the most. Everybody who
That was the father, right?
had basically one avenue that they understood, which was put in a ticket. And our queues just blew out of control.
Normally, our ticket workload for a month is between 700 and 800 tickets. And in March, it was 1,400 tickets.
The IT team was incredible through this. I mean, it was one of those moments where a team that's, often behind the scenes suddenly came front and center.
Our guys, they're willing to stay all through the night, and not a complaint out of a single guy. I mean, it's the best team I've ever worked with, and I could not be prouder to stand by their sides.
You got it.
As we started to get in a position where we were operational day to day, we asked ourselves, well, what can we do locally?
The Bungie Foundation has been really busy, hard at work, and we wanted to make sure that our families, especially the most vulnerable families in our community, would be able to be taken care of in that time.
So we asked ourselves, well, what can we do for kids in the area? So we actually partnered with Boys and Girls Club in the area to help provide food for kids who were no longer going to school.
They are serving about 500 meals per day. And at this point, since the middle of March, that actually equates to about 30,000 meals that they provided for families in the Bellevue community.
Bungie Foundation, thank you. Thank you, Bungie Foundation.
It's incredible stuff, but being able to use our infrastructure to support that. And then, of course, the huge effort with Direct Relief.
We partnered with Direct Relief, and we wanted to find a way to support those who have been probably some of the most hardest hit in this pandemic, which are our frontline healthcare workers. So we spun up a month-long fundraiser, and we set a goal of $700,000 to be raised in that period of time, and we've already reached our goal, which is really exciting.
One thing that's really become clear to me is how much we're all driven by that mission of we create worlds that inspire friendship. And I think it also says something about how much everyone cares about each other here.
The fact that they are willing to put their money where their mouth is to support the quality of life of the individuals that work for the studio.
I think Bungie is amazing. I look at the situation that other people are in. People are getting laid off, can't pay their bills. Bungie's made this commitment to each one of us.
I want to say thank you to the entire studio because I had the great privilege to be part of this awesome team and this awesome company. And I can't say enough about that.
The thing that I've learned the most from this is doing the right thing and prioritizing people's health and well-being has a rippling effect. I think that we'll see that in the game, and I think we'll see that in the community for years to come.
Yo, Chad, that was some good stuff. That was good, man. All right, fellas, I'm sure we're about to be in the thick of it, and it's getting loud. I'm keeping that audio loud, though, because I don't know where you're at. You may need loud audio, but for everyone that just donated a second ago, Leo, Valis, Kama, Colton, Bri, Mr. Green, Gabriel, Lurking, Humberoto, Rodriguez, yo, Lost in Thoughts. Fellas, thank y'all so much, man. Thank you so much. We're about a minute shy here. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to close out my webcam. Fellas, it was great to have you in here. We're probably going to talk a little more, but I'm going to let this reveal stream do most of the talking for us today. So let's get ready. I'm so excited. Oh, Xavier with a 5, baby. Thank you so much. We're getting Twilight Garrison. Stop it. Stop. Don't play with my heart like that. It's been broken enough, man. Oh, it's about to go down. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. I just want you to know before this really gets kicked off, I love you all. I do. I really do. Ryan with the 10, thank you so much. Boom. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, moment of silence, fellas. Moment of silence, guys. right, fellas. Let's get it. I can only concentrate on one topic at a time. Understand completely that moment of silence. Everybody's got different viewpoints in the chat, but let's just leave it at that, guys.
I'm Mark Noseworthy. I'm the Destiny 2 General Manager.
I'm Luke Smith, and I'm the Destiny 2 Game Director.
Before we started the show today, we wanted to just acknowledge the circumstances and the unprecedented times we're in. This is not how we had planned this several months ago to talk about the future of Destiny 2 and reveal where we're headed with the team. You know, this show's not how we planned it. We're building the game, not how we planned it, from our living rooms and, you know, basements and with our kids and our dogs and all sorts of stuff on our laps while we're trying to make this game.
Yeah, there's like an inherent weirdness to this. Even the weirdness of, you know, this is the first time I've seen you in person in the last like probably 3 months, and I don't know if people know, but outside of the show that is work, like those are actually pretty close. Like we hang out, we talk all the time. Our significant others are buddies, like, and so, you know, it's super weird just to see you in person.
Yeah, not on a screen.
Yeah, not on this little like Zoom screen on an iPad or something. Like it's just totally bizarre.
Yeah.
This is not how we envisioned this, and certainly our hope was that it would be more than just us two talking about this stuff. And over the course of the summer, a bunch more folks from the team are gonna talk about what we're up to and what we're gonna be up to.
Let's get the show started.
Okay. All right, we got Big Drifter in the house. Oh. Chat, who is this? Who is that, chat? Is that the stranger? Oh my God, it's a stranger! What?
This is what I brought you here to see.
Pyramid ship! Oh! Ball expansion beyond light. What?
So, Luke, is it finally time to explain?
You know, listen, like some jerk said that we were done with the stranger's story, and as you get back into Destiny and you keep like looking around and finding stones to uncover, a character who says that she's not forged in light, and where the two of you meet, ground can break, becomes a pretty interesting tool to leverage here in Destiny 2 Beyond Light and going forward. You know, it is the beginning of a brand new era in Destiny 2. This fall, you're going to discover Europa, a brand new destination, and one of the first destinations we envisioned long ago when Destiny began. This is the birthplace of the Exo and the site of a newly active pyramid ship. As a player, you're going to face Ames, a fallen warrior wielding a brand new power born from a very ancient darkness.
Like you, Ames is a leader, but unlike you, she seeks revenge against the Traveler for scattering her people's once great houses to the cosmic winds.
It's up to you to confront Ames and her growing empire on the frozen battlegrounds of Europa. And it's up to you to go beyond and discover long dormant secrets hidden beneath the surface in places lost to time, like
the Deepstone Crypt.
Yes, there you go.
That one I
Lore
heard
Corner.
Of. That one I heard of, yeah.
Doing it. There's a lot more to Europa than you might imagine. And here's your first look at gameplay from Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Where I come from, the Darkness won. I have witnessed this firsthand. I refuse to let it happen again. It's time the truth presented itself to you. Darkness resides within, beckoning you. This is a truth we cannot hide from, and so we must embrace it. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together.
What? Did that dude have a stab? What? Chat, new subclasses, chat.
I will give these Guardians the destruction they crave.
Chat. New subclasses, chat. We're getting new subclasses.
Man, it's time to wield the darkness. We've been waiting. Destiny 2 Beyond Light ships to all currently supported platforms on September 22nd this year. And it kicks off a new era in Destiny where players will discover the true nature of the light and the dark. Not just walking the thin line between, but wielding the darkness itself as a weapon with Stasis.
And we did just get like a very brief look at that today. And, you know, obviously we're going to end up showing more throughout the course of the summer. And the other thing is Stasis, this new power, isn't just going to be Guardian supers and abilities. It's a brand new damage type. So that means it's going to ultimately sit alongside Solar, Arc, and Void as the first new element we've introduced to the game since the original Destiny release way back in 2014.
This is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal to add this to the
Hell
game.
yeah, it's big.
It changes everything.
And it's a lot of work.
Chat, this changes everything.
Today, yeah, you got a glimpse of this new power, and it's definitely the pursuit and acquisition and the player's ability to wield it. It's something that's going to be woven in through the narrative of the game. Like, the game is kind of a collision course between you and Ames, and we're going to show you a bunch more about Stasis later in the year.
Because though we're excited about what we're delivering this fall, we did say that Destiny 2 Beyond Light was the beginning of a new era.
What does that mean? Well, it means that we're thinking about Destiny beyond just any given year and thinking about it over time. And so we want to take a look into kind of the long future of Destiny. But when you want to look ahead, like we're about to do, it all starts back at the beginning.
They're going to show us what they scratched out, guys. Watch.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever.
Eyes up, Guardian.
You must push back the darkness.
Man, I miss that
Guardians
music.
are fighting on Earth and beyond.
I miss the
Join me.
strikes.
6 of us went down into the pit. In the end, they all bowed before me. We have slain his brood. We have murdered his son. And now the Taken King comes for us all.
indestructible.
You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. I am Gaul. And your light is mine.
Without the light, are we even guardians anymore?
No, I don't want to watch it again.
We should have been there.
Any last words?
I'm coming home, Ace. So, this is to be a reckoning. Free me. How long has it sat in silence, watching us? It seems those responsible for our collapse are coming back. We've been waiting.
We are your salvation.
The line between light and dark is so very thin. Do you know which side you're on?
The Witch Queen.
A side should always be taken. Even if it's the wrong side.
What?
We are building Destiny's future today, right inside of Destiny 2. It starts with Beyond Light coming this fall.
It's going to continue with the next major expansion, the Witch Queen, and Lightfall is going to kind of drive this all to a moment. These three releases represent this new era in Destiny. These eras began really in 2014 with that era of light where, players entered Destiny for the first time. They were resurrected. They went to the tower. They learned about the things the children were scared of. And, we exited that era when we became Guardians.
We are now coming out of an era of loss of our powers, one of our mentors, our innocence, and soon we will be entering an era of darkness. And if it's not clear, we are all in on Destiny 2.
Last year, we laid out a vision for the game that we wanted to build the definitive action MMO, place it in an awesome evolving world that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. We are still completely committed to this ambitious vision, and we're going to continue reaching to deliver it in Destiny 2. And to be clear, listen, I'm sure over here in the Twitch chat, there's some mix of salt and space dad. We haven't gotten everything right out of the gate. For example, we've already begun working on changes that we're going to make to our seasonal model in year 4 to get a bunch of the FOMO that's in the game right now out of it. And this is a response not only to your feedback, but just, we took it in the wrong direction. You can lay that at me. We're also working on things like transmog, and that's going to be an experience that means armor is kind of always valuable to you because it can always represent a look for you to chase. And we've got a bunch of other improvements to the experience that we're working on. Things like the quest log's going to get another awesome revision. We've got small touches, a oft requested one. And I think when we started Beyond Light, this was one that I made to Mike Zach
getting a dark title screen back in Destiny so that the light white heat of the title screen doesn't light up your entire apartment at 2 a.m. So there are the small features, but then there's also some big features, and maybe one of the biggest is next generation support.
I think one of the most exciting things we're going to talk about is the game's going to run at 60 frames per second and 4K resolution on the new hardware.
we're also really happy to say that whatever content you already own or will own in Destiny 2 will come with you to your next generation console of choice at Mellexin. On PlayStation, you'll be able to upgrade to PlayStation 5 for free. And on Xbox, we will support smart delivery also for free. In plain English, this means if you own Destiny 2 expansion content on those platforms now or in the future, or by Beyond Light in September, you can keep playing on the same family consoles for free without buying the expansions again. We think that's going to be awesome. And you don't have to worry about busting up your friends list either, because we're going to support intergenerational crossplay within each console platform ecosystem as well. This means that if your brother's playing on PS4 and your sister's playing on PS5, all three of you can play together. And we're going to do the same thing in the Xbox ecosystem. This year we're focused on intergenerational play. Hopefully next year we can finally do the thing and get them all playing together in the same ecosystem.
Yes. So Shadowkeep was cool, and Shadowkeep brought back the moon and upgraded and enhanced it. And so we brought a destination out of the vault and, spruced it up, and that's where you got to play. We're not doing that with this fall's destination, Europa. It's a brand new place you've never been before. And both the Witch Queen and Lightfall are going to also include brand new, never before seen destinations. These expansions will stretch out across a timeline that's going to bring much anticipated enemies to the forefront and hopefully deliver some twists, turns, drama that we don't think anyone's going to see coming.
But to deliver these big content beats each and every year and keep building on top of our seasonal experiences while making technological leaps forward, we also need to make some big changes to the way we treat some of our older legacy content.
The stuff that maybe is getting a little long in the tooth that you're not really looking at and playing anymore. You're not.
Destiny 2 is a huge game. We have 9 destinations, 40 story missions, 54 adventures, 42 lost sectors, 17 strikes, 31 PvP maps, 7 raids, and hundreds of game systems that layer on top of that. I could go on, and I probably screwed up one of those numbers. The fact is, the game is too large to efficiently update and maintain. We're on track to be like 115 gigabytes on PlayStation alone, and our updates to the game are huge, and we're starting to reach the limits of our ability to patch.
We don't want to start over from scratch and build a sequel. And in order to make a sequel, we would have to stop supporting Destiny 2. Like, it would effectively go dark.
We talk about a single evolving world, not multiple evolving worlds, but a single evolving world. And we don't want people to have to start over. We don't want to have that loss of continuity with our game systems and our communities and all the players together.
We don't want to put another number on the box.
Nope.
So instead, here's our plan. Each year, just as a new expansion comes out, we're going to cycle older, less actively played activity and destination content out of the live game and into what we're calling the Destiny Content Vault, the DCV. Moving content into this vault is going to allow us to add support for D2 for years, including Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and Lightfall. This vault is also going to allow us to take content from Destiny 1, do some work on it, get it ready to come back into the Destiny 2 ecosystem. So we're not just going to be taking stuff away, we're also going to be going into the classic vault and kind of bringing some stuff back, or unvaulting activity and destination content each year.
Thinking about the greatest hits of Destiny, right? Like, what are the new tracks we can lay down? What's something from the past that was like pretty cool that could be made even better if it existed today? And what does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of awesome stuff that the team has built over the 6 years of making Destiny, and that Destiny 2 players totally have missed out on. Like, later this year, Destiny 1's Cosmodrome is coming back this fall as a selectable destination. Its 3 strikes are also going to come back during season 12 and season 13. And part of the awesome thing here is a bunch of players haven't played Sepix. Sepix was the strike from the beta way back in summer 2014. It is the oldest,
like the definitive original.
One of my favorites.
Felt hit the right.
One of the best.
Yeah,
in Destiny 1, right? And we left all that behind when we made Destiny 2, and we're saying we don't want to do that again. Well, let's not do that again, but let's also reach into the past and bring it into the present.
There's a lot of great content in our past, and maybe this year we'll see a classic raid come back. I think it'd be pretty amazing this year to see the vaulted class kind of unvaulted and return in front of players. I can imagine things like champion Praetorians instead of just regular Praetorians, and kind of updating it slightly to the modern
Vog's coming
context.
back, guys. Vault of
but
Glass
still
is coming
preserving
back?
That, like, classic feel.
This fall when the expansion comes out, not only are we going to be bringing back Cosmodrome and adding Europa, but we're going to look at some of that content that's been in the game for a long time, that's been free, that isn't actively played, and that's when some of that is going to be vaulted.
Well, after the show, we're going to have a much more in-depth article that you can read on our plans for vaulting content on Bungie.net and why we're taking this unprecedented approach and what it means for the game this year and for the game going forward. We're also going to be conducting a bunch of interviews to answer your big questions, and we will continue the conversation with coverage in our ongoing This Week at Bungie community conversations, as well as there will be a bunch of player support and DPS articles about this all summer long. You know, we've placed a bunch of bets on the Destiny Cosmic board, whether it's the Traveler waking up, whether it's the Stranger dissolving after telling you, you know, there's so much more to explore out there. And so we're going to start to bring a bunch of these threads home. And here's a look at the beginning of those threads coming home to roost this summer in Season of Arrivals.
The Almighty has been reduced to smoldering ash. And with allies like Rasputin, who can stop us?
Boom. That could stop us.
From Titan to Mercury, their shadow reaches.
Is their message a warning? A trick? We can't know until we hear their words for ourselves. You bring weapons. You will not need them.
No! God, that was Dark Trigger!
We offer only truth.
The darkness reached out, but something interferes. The witch sister of the taken king, Savathun.
We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
Prepare yourself, Guardian. This battle is not over.
So that's the Season of Arrivals, and it starts any minute now at 10 a.m. Pacific.
So today, we looked at a bunch of stuff. We talked about the Destiny Content Vault. We looked into the past to see kind of how we got to where we are today. We looked into the far future with the Witch Queen and Lightfall. And we also talked about Beyond Light, which is the beginning of a new era in Destiny 2. And if pre-ordering's kind of your thing, like the pre-orders are going to go live today. Like if you're interested, there's some sweet bonuses, and you know that's kind of the summary of the show.
If you're excited about the start of Beyond Light and where we're headed, well, the Season of Arrivals, it's kind of like a prelude. You know, it's really setting up that story, and so we encourage you to get in and play.
Hell yes.
So today at 5 p.m. Pacific, we're going to launch a brand new dungeon called Prophecy. Prophecy is the dungeon that involves the Nine, and that's kind of like all I'm going to say about it, because there's a little bit of business to get to with it, and then we'll wrap. But it's got a brand new set of armor for you to chase. It's got some classic armor for you to chase. It's going to be at a really high power level, which means it's like a solid day's work plus a little bit of skill to summit that mountain.
It's free for all players.
It's free for all players. And we're going to show you a trailer in just a second. If you don't want to see anything from the dungeon, just
chat. We have a dungeon.
Or like get up and go.
We have a dungeon this afternoon. A brand new dungeon.
Will be over, and you can play Season of Arrivals in Destiny 2. And I think that's the business side, right? We're like there. We've handled everything.
I think it's the time to say thank you all for tuning in and giving us your time today, and just for playing Destiny and being part of this amazing community.
It has, and it will continue to be a journey. On behalf of everyone at Bungie, please, please, please stay safe out there, and, you know, we'll see you soon.
at this dungeon, dude. This looks like a raid. Oh, the gear looks sexy. Wait. What foundry is that, guys? How do I pronounce that? Dado? If you were disappointed by anything that was revealed in this stream, you are out of your mind, okay? Absolutely out of your mind. If you're saying same old, we're getting a new set of subclasses this coming up fall, okay? It will be Stasis, but more than likely we'll dive into the darkness. So essentially getting darkness-based subclasses. We're getting new destinations. Europa being the biggest one. Pyramid ships dropping out of all over the place, and obviously going to take some planets out, most notably Titan and Mercury. All right, I'm just saying that's probably what's going to happen. Mercury, Titan, about to get kabloomied. Okay, all right. Vault of Glass, by the way, isn't the only raid that's coming later this year. It just seems to be an added raid coming. So it's like we're gonna get a new raid, but Vault of Glass is just like one of those. Like, hey, here's one we're gonna lob up for you, for our veteran players out there, or people that never play Vault of Glass. And let me go ahead and just say this: one of the best raids in the game was Vault of Glass. Now imagine playing Vault of Glass in 60 frames per second at 105 field of view. Next generation consoles got confirmed to be at 60 frames per second. That was the big kicker. Would Destiny 2 be able to run at 60 FPS? They just said they're gonna be able to run it 4K 60 FPS. I won't believe it until I see it. And there is a level of crossplay, but not the crossplay we want, okay? They did say crossplay, but only between the generations. So PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox One X series. I don't know. I can't remember the name of fucking Xbox. Either way, Xbox and old gen and new gen people, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, be able to play with each other. But the main thing to take away from that conversation, guys, is they said crossplay is coming next year. So they're actually going to have actual crossplay at some point next year. And I know a lot of people want it now. I want things now too. But I understand the technical difficulties. Just from a very basic level, I understand the technical difficulties. The fact that that's being worked on is a huge deal. Okay, but maybe you just care about today. Just now, just today. Well, guys, they launched a dungeon. A freaking dungeon. A dope-ass dungeon. And we get to go learn about the 9. And can you tell me what you know about the 9? Because I'm kind of lost when it comes to the 9. There's a lot I don't know about when it comes to the 9. Hold on. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to this. This whole dungeon trailer, by the way, absolutely amazing. So the fact that I got folks saying that this is same old. How is this same old? How is a dungeon? Have we ever seen a dungeon launch day freaking 1 of an expansion? All right, look, I'm not saying y'all spend your money how you want to spend your money, but lame as fuck. All right. Jeez, man. Outside of that, guys, we've got some other things coming. I did see Dart Drinker for sure. 100% saw Dart Drinker. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the gameplay piece here. I don't know. What Minimar did we see Dart Drinker? By the way, Dart Drinker's an exotic sword, guys. They also made public events look good for 3 months. Yeah, that's fun. Hey, the dungeon's free, by the way. Yeah. The dungeon is free, so it's like you could play it. Somebody saw a bolt caster. Yeah. So if money's the issue, if you don't want to spend money today, which is completely fine. You don't have to. Just go play the dungeon. Yo, this is a big one. So, chat, I think I'm gonna go ahead and bow out and go ahead and start making a video on this. Talk about things that are about to happen. Cosmodrome is getting unvaulted. Europa is gonna be the new zone. I think the other big takeaway from all of this, guys, is the fact that Beyond Light is gonna be this coming up fall. The Witch Queen will be next year, and then Lightfall will be 2022. I mean, the main thing to take away from that is, like, obviously Bungie isn't abandoning Destiny 2. That's what a lot of people were saying. Everyone was concerned that D2 was about to be abandoned. Bungie was about to start making matter. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's a good thing to me. That's a very good thing. I really don't understand what this could be. Lightfall. Is that whenever we finally have to make the decision? This may actually be when we have to make the decision. Yo, Joseph with the 5, thank you so much for that. But this may actually be when we have to make the decision between darkness and the light. Double, thank you so much for the 10. Yo, yeah, man. Yeah, I probably am too. Maybe I'm a sucker for hype, guys. I guess that's it. I'm just a sucker for hype. But everything that I saw today, it's good stuff, man. I mean, this was good stuff. And I don't know, like, what was it from today's reveal? Because I see some complaints in the chat. What was it from today's reveal that you didn't see that you wanted to see? Because I'm seeing comments like same old, lame. You know, I need to ask because I'm obviously not getting the disappointment. I need to ask what it is that was so disappointing about today. What is it that you wanted to see that you did not see? Wait, what? Oh my God, I gotta play this damn ad. Hold on. We're gonna check it out in just a second.
In the pyramid ships, because we didn't want them to be too threatening. This shot here with the drifter shot, that is a mirror of that original kind of Destiny 1 intro. You'll see another one of these mirrors here where Eris takes a little tumble. That is exactly meant to mirror the astronaut slipping. So if we pause here on the fire, so I'm a few seconds behind, but
yeah, a little delay. I got it.
Yeah, we were really thinking about how to do the stranger.
No time to explain.
Because we didn't want the reveal to be totally immediate, but we also wanted it to be the kind of thing that the silhouette on a rifle would maybe tip the hand. And we entertained a bunch of different ideas here. There was one great idea from Ilya and his team where she was in an interior, kind of like an ancient computer, and that looked awesome. And we ended up going with the fire because the lighting was better for concealing the character in the way that we wanted to.
I think a lot of people saw the gun, and I know I speak for my chat for sure, and kind of went nuts almost instantly as soon as the thing was on screen. Everybody caught that.
The no timer, just the stranger's rifle.
This is the shot that was chosen for this is really solid.
So then another thing we were thinking about was to when we wanted to make things that we created for the trailer kind of available to players. And so I think we've taken some of these things and woven them into pre-order bonuses for the game for Beyond Light this fall, because we do all this work to model these things, and we think it's awesome when players can get their hands on it.
So you're telling me, and for anybody that's misinterpreting that, a number of the things, the ships, the sparrows, that kind of stuff is going to be available as potential pre-order bonuses for Beyond Light and things following that?
Yeah, I don't have it all stored totally in my brain, but I think, I mean, for sure, her weapon, and I believe the sparrow is part of it too.
Okay.
The ship's fucking awesome. We wanted to give the drifter.
I forgot my webcam was up.
A different pod. Like, some of the fun of doing stuff like this is, getting to take characters who have really familiar aesthetics and give them something else. Like, I remember Mike and I talking about, like, well, if Eris,
Nick Fisher, thank you so much for the 10. They didn't give specifics on it. Captain Zabu with the 50, thank you so much.
Gear, like, kind of when you see your favorite characters from Star Wars, they have like different wardrobe changes. You're like, oh, the Han Solo parka's awesome. Like, what's Eris's version of the Han Solo parka? It's not like Han Solo parka. It's like an Eris parka.
That's going to be an official Destiny clothing piece in the future, I'm sure.
So let's see. So here, if you so you can see as Eris is walking, there are these crystals emerging, and this is indicating that she is, this plus the final scene from Shadowkeep, the kind of post-game sequence, is really indicating that Eris, a character who has been, very anti the notion of the darkness, has maybe started to explore the edges of it, and certainly looks like she may be wielding something a little bit different than you would expect.
This even looks like almost a clue into Stasis, which obviously I'll be asking questions about in a little while.
Thank you for the 5, man.
But yeah, this was a kind of a similar aesthetic to what we saw in the gameplay trailer. So
yeah, just I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty on my side here. I think I'm still with you. Yeah. Okay. I'm just catching up to the video. My video popped.
All good.
So now, yeah, the original cut for this piece was almost 5 minutes long, and a lot of it ended up being travel. And if you just give me a little pause here, because I want to talk about this just for a second. It ended up being a lot of travel time, which, Mike and Eric and I were talking about. This notion of taking our time was really important, not because of all the reveals, but because, sometimes we'll have the marketing pieces, like these pieces that we put out that are really bombastic, and the pace is really fast, and I think the dungeon trailer and the like early gameplay trailer are like punchier and quicker, and we had this long cut for this piece, and then we had a shorter cut that was, I don't remember the exact time. And when people watched the shorter cut, we just didn't feel like it was giving the whole piece enough time to breathe. And of course, the 5-minute cut is like that's like Mike, Zach, and I, like, being like, it can be long and slow, like a Kubrickian movie or whatever. Like, and so we find some like reasonable here, and I think that we did get to this really nice length here. Yeah. This is meant to show an uncomfortable meeting between three characters. The dismount for the stranger and into this thing that emerges from her. That object, I know we're gonna have a lot of questions about, and I'm not gonna talk too specifically about them, but the stranger is not forged in light. The stranger does not have a ghost.
So that's not a ghost.
That is not a ghost.
Oh,
that is something different, and that's kind of where we're gonna leave that for now. But it is for sure not a ghost.
Okay.
Towards the very end, she has a line, and if I can go back and scrub directly to it, I'm gonna try.
You here to see.
So about bringing them here to see the Dorito, one of the pyramid ships. Are we to assume that based on that back and forth, that Drifter, Eris Morn, and the Exo Stranger have a previous interaction history?
I don't think it's assumed that there's a previous interaction history. I think when we were putting this piece together, we were thinking about who are 3 characters, because Destiny, often happens in factors of 3. Who are the 3 characters who would be most interested in the power of the darkness? And the Drifter, with all of his, embrace the darkness, all of his like gambit chicanery is a great fit. We had and then Eris, of course, is kind of also a pretty great fit. And when I was this whole idea started with the Stranger, so she was there from the beginning, because I felt like anytime you want to explore
thank you for the 5
different, like the darkness, like I said on the
Child,
video,
thank you so much for the 5 as well.
Forged in light, and a character who's like forerun, who's like kind of pointed at this notion that the collision with the player would break ground, felt like really good opportunity. And I know people have been waiting a long time to see her again, and I think that's I think this is a great time to do it.
Yeah, you could. I think that's an understatement. As one of the characters that we've I don't have time to explain why we've wanted to see that for a really long time. The thing that's not a ghost, I'm just going to ask it outright. Are we going to be able to obtain something similar?
Not this year.
Not this year. Are you implying in the future that it would be potentially possible?
Dude.
It's certainly an idea that we are dealing.
It's darkness based. It's a darkness based ghost, guys. 100%. That's a darkness based ghost.
In front of people, you see how they react to it. You see if they think it's cool, and then we'll go from there. I think there's a bunch of opportunity to add super cool shit.
That or a pet. That or we're about to get summoning.
The
or mounts.
Little buddy is I think it's pretty super cool, but our community is going to tell us what they think.
They usually do. Don't worry. Between when
Brad, thank you so much for the
Beyond
20,
Light
man.
is
Jason
released and now, is there an expectation for the Exo Strangers, the big gap in time to be fleshed out as to what was going on, where they went, all that?
No, she's going to kind of debut in Beyond Light. She's not going to be a part of the Season of Arrivals.
Just wanted to check. All right.
That's good.
Well,
It's your time. Let's do it.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to go through the Beyond Light reveal trailer. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say, holy crap, you guys are very good at cinematics. We appreciate you taking the time to do everything that you've done with that. But it is time to get into the nitty gritty. And as you told me before, and I want to make sure that people understand this, none of the questions that I'm going to ask you were pre-canned from Bungie. You didn't give me anything. I even told CJ, no, thank you. I'm good, because I wanted to do the best that I could to represent the community and the position that y'all have offered up to me. So thank you very much. And I'm going to start out of the gate.
John with the 20, thank you.
Talking about in-game live events. We saw the Destruction of the Almighty. That was a technical feat for Bungie, proving you can do in-game globally synced live story events. Very, very cool. Many players, though, were frustrated by the duration of the event and the level of communication around when viewing said event would be essential. Will Bungie be doing more live in-game events going forward? And if so, in what ways are they going to be changed from our first experience with them?
So I think that's an awesome and totally great question. The way I've been thinking about this event, which I think you said really well, is technically awesome. And once it kind of hit its stride, I think it's fucking cool too. But we had these Lego pieces, and I think the Lego pieces with things like what's the timing of an event? What's the way that players come into the world? How do they know when is the best time to be there? I think about this in terms of concerts, not Travis Scott, but like if you actually go to a concert or a comedy show or something, doors are at 7:30. But if you're there to see a comic, they probably don't go on time. And so I think that once you learn that, you're like, okay, that's fine. I think we could have signaled all of that better. And at the bare minimum, we've got to signal it better. But I also think there's a compression that we could be doing with the time that we're asking people to chill there too.
A follow-up, if there are future events like that, is there an opportunity for players to maybe be a little more hands-on with the mechanics or the event playing out? Because I think a lot of people while they did go through and do all of the bounties and public events to gas Rasputin up, it very much would have been nice to be able to, even just in this case, go to the Almighty, maybe disable a portion of the shield, anything like that where there was an interactive moment, because people often felt like they just sat there and watched Rasputin blow a thing up that they put a lot of work into before that with no payoff.
Yeah, I think that there's two things you're talking about there, and I think they're both great pieces of feedback. Like the first one is what's like the kinetic action game part of this? Like how do I get to feel like I'm more involved actively, like on the controller, on the keyboard? And I think that's awesome feedback, and we should strive to get there. The second thing I would say is it's also
Garrick,
about
thank you, Ben.
How can I very clearly understand the impact of my or the community's collective actions across the game? And so, what is the other ideas that we've talked about are, how could we have made the Warmind network feel more present in the solar system at large, so that you're actually feeling, on your director and your skyboxes everywhere, that this is a thing that's building up over the course of the season, so that when you see those missile streamers traveling at, physically real time, but maybe not like action game, that you're like, yeah, we did that. And so I think those are both awesome notes and awesome pieces of feedback. I think the other thing was, because this is kind of our first one, it was really meant to just be kind of like, I think someone said it really well, like a cinematic you were watching with other people. So,
gotcha.
Better management from us for next time.
A lot of people in my chat are touching on crossplay, so I'm going to bring that up just super quick to get clarification so they understand. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that when the next generation of consoles, the next Xbox and PlayStation release, there will be crossplay within the same the same ecosystem. So Xbox, Xbox One and the next tier, and PS4, PS5, those will be able to interact with each other initially, but not cross-platform between the two. Correct?
Yeah, the intergenerational crossplay.
Yes. And then going forward, Mark specifically said that the goal is to achieve full crossplay next year.
Yeah, that's our target. We've been signaling crossplay for a while. We had some other technical priorities this year, and we want to move on to that next. Like we want to be that single evolving world, and that means that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends, and that Destiny 2 is the platform.
Is that, and last clarification on that, and then I won't bring up crossplay again. And that's going to be Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Stadia, all together?
Yes.
There you go.
Wow. Okay, good shit.
I want to swing back. Talking about public events, bounties. Season of the Worthy on the PvE side felt like that was a majority of what we were asked to do. It became, for a lot of players, relatively monotonous. Doing millions of these things, and that's the only thing you could do at the time to further the story, is kind of frustrating. What is the plan going forward? Will seasonal content have a stronger variety of things to do?
So we're getting the feedback as we keep going. So one of the things that I associate with player feedback around Season of the Worthy is an intentional decision that I made, which is we want to refuel aspiration in the game, and for that season, because we could only do one really big aspirational thing, we chose to do trials. And so PvE aspirational players were kind of, I think, left cold by the lack of something to care about at the top end. We've rectified that for season 11 with the dungeon that comes out today at 5, and so we're making sure that we have that. With respect to like the bounties and the amount of bounties players feel like they have to do, this is going to be a continued area of improvement for us. Like we have stuff that we are planning for year 4 that is going to give players alternate ways to make bounty-like progress on their season pass. Like that I think can lessen the burden of making it feel like the best way to play the game is to grab the random bounties till you get the one for the lost sector and then run in and out of it over like that. That doesn't sound like a super fun way to play the game. So we've got to get better here.
You mentioned that Season of the Worthy obviously had trials, was the big aspiration. For Season of Arrivals, you have a brand new dungeon, which begs the question: is there a cadence internally about PvE versus PvP for new content? Should we expect the back and forth each season? Is there going to be, or will it be split between both sides going forward for each subsequent season?
It's not going to be necessarily like a back and forth sawtooth. I think that we've talked about wanting to do a refresh to trials every year. And I don't know that we've said exactly, I can't keep it all straight. I don't know if we've said when we're doing the next one. I do know when we're doing the next one.
Feel free to say.
No, I think that we,
just checking.
We talked about the PvE top end kind of passively in that video that we just watched, which is, in year 4, we're going to have the raid that comes out with Beyond Light, and we're also going to have a raid that returns from the content vault. And so we'll have at least 2 raids. We'll have 2 raid activities next year, and we've got to figure out what that aspiration looks like. In there's one season basically that doesn't have something booked, and so we've got to figure out what that's going to look like.
You said a raid was coming back from the content vault. Which raid specifically?
we're gonna pull the old Vault of Glass out and
there you go.
And play there.
I'm down with that, man.
That's I'm hoping people are very excited about that. That seems I think a lot of people have a certain feeling about Vault of Glass compared to everything else because it was the first. It's everybody remembers the first. So change gears again real quick. Hardcore players of Destiny, of which, especially on the streamer side, I admit that, and I'm trying to not be content creator focused. I'm trying to look at everybody. There are a lot of hardcore non-content creator players as well. They enjoy highly repeatable content. I'm going to use Diablo as an example. You have an unending difficulty scale in which you can continue to get rewards all the way forever, basically. That may not necessarily fit into the Destiny structure, but GM Nightfalls were added as an even harder difficulty, but the reward structure for that was essentially a title that you only went after once. There was, with the exception of a small period of bug rewards, there's no reason to do those over Masters. Going forward, is there a plan to give a longer-term carrot on a stick mechanic for players in that situation that have done everything?
Good question.
And a
Great
suggestion,
question.
thank you to Dado for making this video, was that maybe you can have titles that level up. So you've unlocked, Conqueror, how many times, maybe you get the level 2, level 3, level 4, something that'll give people something to do so you can show that they've dedicated a whole crap load of time to something and it doesn't affect the way that the game is played.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. I'm pretty sure we're doing something like this starting soon, which is it might be starting as early as season 11. Again, some stuff moves around in the calendar, but like gilding titles is a thing that we are working on. And
Gilded titles, okay.
Is one thing. I think another thing with an activity like the GM Nightfalls, which I think have a number of really awesome properties, we're going to be enhancing their itemization during year 4. I think that, sometimes we're not totally sure how a thing is going to go. We do a lot of experimenting in this game, and maybe sometimes it feels like we do too much, but we are thinking about that reward story for GM Nightfalls and believe we can enhance that pretty significantly.
Things like Tyrant Surge and other mods created some really fun and effective builds within this last season. Are we going to see mods from Season of the Worthy come back in the future, or do you plan on having additional, relatively innovative for Destiny mechanics like that that are not just seasonal? Are we gonna
permanent?
In Diablo, you have season gear that gets retired into the main line. Do we see something like that happening with some of the mods that people absolutely love?
I think what we are, what the Armor and mods team are doing right now is sneakily some really fucking awesome work on Destiny, and the challenge might be it's a little hard to find the fun here, to put it together and to make a build. I think that we have improvements that we can make there to make build crafting a little bit more understandable, and then I think figuring out how do we take experiments like the cool stuff from this Season of the Worthy, and leverage those awesome things across the game. That's we got to do more of that. When we find something that's super successful, how can we double down on it? We place bets, and when the bets hit, we have to double down.
The player base has always had kind of a complex relationship with paid seasonal content and Destiny. The question, is it worth it? I see often asked pretty quickly after the first week or two of, that, man, this is brand new. That rush wears off. Should players temper their expectations when it comes to each new season? Should we be focusing more on the larger expansions as the target for highly repetitive stuff?
I think that this is a line we're still gonna have to find. Like we have basically a battle pass that for sure has $10 of value if you're like thinking about value. But I think we also ask players to play the game a lot, and so I think this year we overstruck the FOMO nerve, and that's completely on me. That's my direction and discretion, and I think I led us astray, and we're gonna fix it. The other thing that you're asking though about content, I think we have to continue to evolve the way we're thinking about content. Like again, this year we had a bunch of really cool stuff. Like Rescuing Saint 14 was a cool quest line that had a bunch of good elements in it. But I think that we ended up making a lot of 6-player arena type activities, and you can lay that at my feet too. Like I think that we need a more diverse offering in our seasons. Imagine a season where you have, we're not doing this. I'm just saying, imagine a season that's all about a handful of exotic quests. So you have a bunch of cool quest lines that season, and that's the primary thing that you're doing. I think that we've got areas to improve here, and we need to do it, and we're going to do it. But you can, you and the community can always lay the blame for the stuff that you're unhappy with directly on me. And if it's awesome, the team did a great job, and if it's not what you wanted it to be or it's not as good, you can blame me for it.
There are a lot of different avenues in which people express their frustrations and joys from Destiny. There's a team within Bungie that is responsible for monitoring all those things, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Our community team, and we have a bunch of surveying that's happening kind of I'll say passively, in that it's technology that's surveying reactions, seeing how people talk about the game, and so we're always looking at that stuff, and then our community team does an awesome job of showing us what's going on in the game, because it's not always the place you want to send your team to go out into the wilds to collect feedback. You want people who are focused on that as their job.
With projecting the roadmap all the way out to 2022, it does seem more and more like Destiny 3 is not going to be a thing. Is there ever going to be a Destiny 3?
I'll say we're not planning to make one. We believe really strongly that we want to build the future of Destiny inside of the Destiny 2 game.
Yep, I'm behind that 100%.
This is.
I don't want to start over, guys.
Is there a plan to continue to integrate Destiny 1 content back into Destiny 2? You just said you're bringing back VOG. Cosmodrome is returning. And in addition to that, is it going to be a lot of people complain, and this isn't just to Bungie, this is to a lot of different games, that it's reuse of the same content over and over again, a copy paste of old stuff, because there may not be an opportunity to innovate. Maybe you don't have chances to build new things, or maybe it's laziness. Can you explain the thought process behind bringing that stuff in, and if we should expect the D1 content to, as a whole, return to D2?
So I wouldn't expect the D1 content to return as a whole. We're not going to remake the Destiny 1. If only it was so simple as Control-C, Control-V. We're not going to remake Destiny 1's campaign in Destiny 2. We will probably never do that. But when I think about the content that we've built to date, I do think there's a bunch of really awesome stuff that is, has been lost in the dark corners of time as we've moved on. And so I think the Destiny Content Vault's an opportunity to, selectively pull things out of the vault. Like I will speak for myself as a player and not with my role in the team, but the idea of a ship landing, like heading toward a strike and hearing the voiceover, Zavala as we go to that Imperial land tank outside of Rubicon would make me laugh. That would bring me some joy.
Yes.
So I think we have content that can touch our players in that way. it's also a balancing act because you want to keep making new awesome stuff too, and that's not just limited to our players wanting us to make new awesome stuff. It's also about our development team wants to make new awesome stuff, and so we've got to find the right line between some of our playlists feel like greatest hits, and our world feels new. So we're gonna keep exploring that.
In the future, will Bungie have maybe put forth a more concentrated effort to bring more of the lore directly into the game for a more cohesive narrative? An example is, I asked before stream if anybody knew the name of the Scion Flayer that was in charge of trying to crash the Almighty into the tower, into Earth, and pretty much nobody knew Amtek's name unless you read the lore. That's one of those things about the game where if you're not constantly staying up to date on all the little pieces, and that's an RPG element that should be respected, but having that stuff put in front of you is very important. Is that going to be something we should expect in the future, or are we going to continue to have to, even just for main plot points, to have to go to the Grimoire and read?
I think it's a mix, right? Like Aramis is a character I believe that we summoned from the history of the game, and it also depends on how our lore, which is largely looking into the history, and how the lore, the narrators contained therein, sometimes reliable, sometimes how that relates to what we're doing. We do have a plan and vision for where we are trying to take this story, and we may find the lore super valuable in some respects, and in some respects it might be a zag because narrators maybe aren't always as reliable as we think they are.
With the Destiny content vault becoming a thing and retiring a portion of the current Destiny content, there's going to be people that will say that they feel like they've lost money or wasted money that they spent on content that they can no longer play. While I understand the utilization and the reasoning behind it, it obviously makes sense if you can't, update and patch your game in a timely manner. What do you say to the people that feel like they will have wasted money on content they can't access anymore?
I think it's totally that's totally an acceptable feeling. What we're trying to do, I'm not going to tell people how to feel. What we're trying to do is make sure that we can continue to grow Destiny 2 in the direction that we want to grow it, and we want to give people plenty of notification. More so maybe in the future than we are this year with what is gonna go away. And the other thing is we're setting this up in such a way that the content is going to go free in its life cycle before it goes away. And so it's not like we want to avoid situations where someone pays for something and then it just like, oh, poof, it's gone the next day. Like that would super duper suck. But some of the harsh reality here is, content that we're pulling out of the game this year, vaulting, if you will, is some content that's not, some of it's lesser played, some of it's lesser realized. I don't think a lot of people are way through these days. And even though I think the Red War is cool, it totally represents a chunk of effort from our team, a chunk of effort from our players, and certainly a period in Destiny's history. We have to excise the past to continue with the future.
With Stasis being added, I'm just going to ask some direct ones. It is a brand new subclass, so there will be 4 per class, correct?
A brand new subclass, 4 per class. What do you mean?
So you have Arc, yes. Void, Solar, Stasis.
Yes, and a little. I'll break into jail here a little bit. These subclasses will be different than how the current subclasses are selected. They will not be locked diamonds. They are going to be a brand new model that allows for much more player choice and flexibility than the current Arc, Solar, and Void subclasses have.
It's going to have D1 layout.
It's really important to me and really important to the team. So it's going to be a different way to customize your Guardian than it is today.
Those customization options, are those going to be integrated back into the current 3 subclasses?
That thing I said about experiments, like we want to see how this goes. Like I think our desire is to get to a place where players have much more flexibility with their subclasses than what they have today. But also that means that if we should someday decide to break up the subclasses in Destiny, that in Destiny 2, we'll probably make some stuff will probably go away as well. So we're taking that really seriously and thinking a lot about it. But
holy
right
crap,
now, focusing on
fellas.
Stasis in the new paradigm.
Is there any concern around homogenization between subclasses or balancing now that you're going to have 4 with with options underneath that?
Yeah, I think homogenization is, and just for me, kind of an ongoing concern. But it's really hard to make something that competes with, turn into a tiny god and run around and destroy everything, which is what a bunch of our modal supers are. And so we've got to figure out what's the right balance for those things. I think that in
just don't bring self-res back.
Talk out of church here for a second. I think that the relationship between the supers in Destiny 1 was maybe a little bit more interesting than what we have today. Or today, the classes do kind of have similar versions of the same supers,
Yeah.
And I think there's an opportunity for us to pull them apart a little bit more than they are today. But,
Boom.
That's the thing we, again, take really seriously because, people might identify as, like, I am only a Spectral Blades Hunter, aka a douchebag. And, I don't want to just strip people of that either. Take that. So
rude. A number of different questions have been brought up around sunsetting and the plans, how that's going to be implemented. So I'll just hit you with a couple of those. Will there be a completely new set of weapons in the loot pool after each sunset, or will we be collecting our Better Devils version 3?
I have to look. It's gonna be a mix. We're gonna keep updating that world pool. I think we had a blog post about that with a mix of the new. We're also
don't listen to Ascross. Bring back self-res.
Traits or perks, and so I hope that I hope that we do. I think we can do better than it's the same Better Devils you had with the exact same roles. Like go and get it. Like that seems that seems
Hold on, I'm launching Steam real quick so I can get this update going, guys.
Is sunsetting being implemented as a way to force players to shake up the meta within both PvE and PvP?
It's not being implemented to force players to do it. It has a knock-on effect of, as max power level goes up, certain weapons, will fall by the wayside. And at least in high-level competitive activity. And I think that has a number of good properties, even though I also know that some dissonance for our players where, wielding a gun in Destiny is different than wielding a staff or something in an MMO because the staff is basically just glorified stats. And our weapons team, curates each legendary, very bespokely. So it's easy to find a gun, or I hope it's easy to find a gun that you fall in love with and that you love the for. And the idea of that going away, or that not being viable.
Not yet, Stub. Thank you for the 5, man.
Is hard for people to
Shock, thank you for the 30. Bo, thank you for the 10.
SRL coming back?
Nothing to talk about right now, but I do that people miss it. I think that it's a good question. Keep asking.
Do we have an expectation on yes or no and timing, especially with crossplay in the future for dedicated servers for PvP or a higher tick rate?
Ooh.
That we should follow up with a technologist. I am definitely not the person to ask about tick rates. My English degree doesn't do a whole lot of good there. Dedicated servers, though, like the Destiny infrastructure is built on a PvP or a peer-to-peer platform, and I don't know that we'll migrate the game to dedicated servers ever necessarily at this point.
You can say no. It's okay. Not that you have. I'm just saying.
It's a version of no. It's a soft no.
Yeah, we see you. Don't worry. Any plans for more Whisper or Outbreak type missions in the future?
Secret missions wouldn't be secret if we talked about them.
True.
Touche. I think everybody can be okay with that and kind of read into it a little bit. I'm sure they're smart. Any plans for? I'm going to ask a couple easy ones because I've been hitting you with some tough stuff for a little bit. Any plans for beards on characters at all? People keep bringing up beards to me.
I mean, listen, as a furry faced dude myself, something like that would be cool, although a little weird to put on my female characters. But we're in the process of redoing redoing our face pipeline all together right now, and maybe someday down the road.
Any plans for like an auto dismantle on blue drops? No, I mean nobody's really keeping those except for maybe one or two one-offs. a chance to just have
Jed,
those
thank you
get
for the 50,
filtered
man.
right into the butter churn.
Zach
as
with
soon
a
as we pick
5,
'em
Garrick
up.
with a 5.
I think
Ultimus
the
with a
real
5.
question, though,
Joe
again,
with a 20.
like
Thank you,
Joe
thank you,
here,
thank you.
The real question is, hey, when am I going to start using greens and blues again? I think that's an interesting
White with the
question,
10. Thank you
because
so
right now we
much.
have a bunch of the
I am too,
colors
man.
that in fact aren't used, and so that's my version of that question. Don't worry, that the thing I'm talking about is not happening this fall, but that's a real design question we ask, which is why do we have these other colors if we're not going to use them?
What's the reason behind some of the blanket weapon nerfs? We have outliers, high impact fusions, 150 RPM hand cannons, 140 snipers. The entire weapon class gets punished because of one or two individuals. Is there reasoning that that's the way that that's done?
Andrew, thank you for the 10.
I think historically, I'll look at hand cannons because I think that they're a weapon people care a lot about. The hand cannons would all get touched. They would all get touched because of technology. And so what the team's done this year is they have broken out the hand cannon tuning by RPM, so you can touch a 150 instead of a 180, et cetera, et cetera. And so we're trying to make that better.
Regarding PvP specifically, what's the team's design philosophy behind what their current long-term PvP pursuit is, and what should we expect for PvP specifically in, I would say, both Season of the Arrivals and the next expansion?
That feels like a big question.
It is a very big question.
For us being out of time, that's
Edgar, thank you for the 10.
We will get something in front of players this.
Perfect.
I'm committed.
How much longer do I have you for?
I really gotta pee. I got a rat, man.
All good. That's fine. Like I said before, there's a whole ton of questions.
Sam,
here,
thank you for the 2. Joe, thank you for the 5.
I tried to hit as many as I could, but thank you very much for your time, Luke. Sincerely.
All righty.
It does mean a lot. I mean, you could have just not done this, which, I mean, I don't think anybody would have been happy with that. But hopefully, people are accepting of the response that you gave. Again, go to the bathroom. Luke, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Listen, fellas, stuff is happening right now. We're not going to continue this stream. I need to go ahead and get off and get a video out on some of this stuff, because I think we got Sandbox changes going out today. Jesus, there's a lot to cover, man. I appreciate everybody that came by today. Richard, thank you so much for the 10. Fellas, a lot to cover. We'll have like a breakdown video kind of going over everything, pretty much touching up on all the big topics of today. I wanted to include Lupo's thing there with Luke because, you just wanted to make sure that we caught everything that was being said, and because there's times in those Vidocs and stuff like that you miss some stuff. You don't get the actual answers directly from them, and so that's a big one. Probably the biggest thing that Luke said in that entire interview was that the new Stasis subclass layout is going to be laid out like D1s or close to it, okay? Close to it, fellas. It's not necessarily probably going to be exactly like it, but freaking close to it. And you got to, oh God, where's that bringing me? You got to admit, that this is pretty dope. This is what you want. If you're into customization, this is it right here. You want this, guys. You want this. And so the biggest thing that I took from that is the fact that we'll now, potentially next year, you'll be able to go in there and you'll be able to pick and slot certain things. If I want to suddenly go, hey, I want to rock on my Titan class. I want to rock, let's say, melting point with my mini throwing hammer. You see where I'm coming from? Hey, I want to rock well with celestial fire. You see what I mean? He said there's more choices. That's what he means by more choices. That's what he means. Listen. Because there is NDA stuff, all right? There is NDA stuff, and obviously we can't go into all of it. Just know that a goal of Bungie is to potentially return back to Destiny 1 subclass layout, okay? I'm going to leave it at that. We've never really been able to say that, but Luke said it. So there it is, man. It's out there. It's pretty much in the open. It's not coming this year. It'll be probably next year, and it may not even be fully implemented next year. But it will be on the in the future, which is a good thing because you want Moore's choice. All right, these subclass nodes. I'm not saying they're not fun. But man, when you could start mixing certain things, when I could take my sticky knife and mix it with Blade Barrage, we just mentioned Celestial. If I could take Knockout and mix Knockout with Inertia Override, dudes. Ballistic Slam with a Knockout. I don't know. Ballistic Slam with the double melee. There's a lot of ways you can intermix these things. All right, and I'm just letting you know that we've never really been able to say that Bungie has been looking at that, but Luke pretty much let the cat out of the bag on that one. Said that they're looking into it, and they're at least going to be trying it this coming up big expansion. Anyways, fellas, listen, I got to get out of here. We could talk all day long about this. I'll have a breakdown video on it. I'll be seeing you all in a little bit. Everyone that donated today, Stomp, Shin, Ray, Miller. Oh, my God, Miller with the $100 donation. You crazy lad, dude. Fellas, thank y'all so much for the big donations. I'll see you all in a bit. We've got a dungeon this afternoon. Hopefully, we'll be able to get through it and get a video out to you guys. Y'all have a great afternoon. I'll catch you in the next one, fellas.